I hit 1G on the skid pad, or on the skid meter, skid mark, whatever. Hi guys, it's your favorite abandoned warehouse Sarah here with another car review, and today I'm reviewing this guy, the Hashiroku. And for all you non-Japanese speaking viewers out there, that means 86. I don't speak Japanese, I'm just taking other people's word for it. It's usually not a good thing to do. And today I'm going to be telling you why this car is more important now than it ever has been since it first came out. Ooh, clickbait title, you know it's going to be a good video. Ooh, there's a piece of lint from Earth. Anyway, let's review the car. The Toyota 86/Subaru BRZ have been out for a hot minute now, so I'm not going to make this detailed review of what each button does and how these textures and gadgets and wizards feel. I don't really feel wizards that often, but anyway. The interior of the GT trim of the Toyota 86 is basic chic, I'm going to say. There's nothing in here that really stands out as crazy that will get dated and look tacky when this car is 10 plus years old. The suede Alcantara seats are nice, so nice that I really want to rip them out of this car along with the steering wheel and stick them in my Toyota MR2. I probably will never get a press car again if I do that, so I shouldn't do that. Where's the popper? Oh, they really don't want you sitting back here, do they? Oh look, a baby's dropping anchor. Be sure if you're gonna have a child in this back seat that they drop anchor, or else the tide will take them out, I guess. So the back seat on here though, it's a nope. It'll always be a nope. Nope. Oh, I got my shoes on the suede. I gotta clean the seats now. How? I don't know if I can actually get out of here. Oh, this is lovely. I like this person's outlook on life. Let's party. The hazard button in here is cute AF, yo. And it's the only button I'm going to mention in this entire car review. It looks like an emoji, and I like it. The head unit that comes in here, and if you don't know what a head unit is, it's a unit of head. It's another term for an infotainment system that is easily replaceable and it's not fully integrated into the dash. And that's what I like about this. It's a tuner car, so it makes sense to have a head unit that is easily replaceable with something different, which I highly recommend doing because this one is pretty much pointless and I've had it turned off the entire time I've had this press car. But that's not a downfall. It's a tuner car. Replace it with something better. Because this is the GT model of the 86, it does not have the Brembo brakes, shock stampers, or the 18-inch wheels and tires. But for $4 grand more, you can get a package, the TRD edition, that has all those. The question is, if you want to modify and customize the car, is that $4 grand worth it or not? For me, I feel getting a set of big brakes with upgraded wheels and tires and coilovers is going to cost you about $4,000 or more depending on what you go with. So it kind of might be worth it. And when the car is 10 years old, if you still have it, the TRD package is going to be rare. And I think it'd be pretty cool to have that from the factory because JDM, yo. Actually USDM, whatever. If you look at popular Japanese tuner cars of the past, like the Nissan 240SX, the Toyota MR2, the Honda S2000, the Acura NSX, I could keep going on and on. But as the model gets towards the end of its life cycle, you get the most tweaks and revisions of it, and basically you get the best version of that car you possibly can. But also less people buy them as the car goes on in its life cycle. And this right here is getting towards the end of its life cycle. It has the best looking headlights that are ever come on an 86 or a Scion FRS, and this front bumper that makes it look like a Karopi frog mated with a manta ray. I apologize if I get distracted during this video and start staring out into the middle of nowhere, because there's lots of little critters out here. Like there's a bird over there, and I just saw 2 small rabbits. And then there's the loud cicadas. And there's bugs out here too. There's a lot to look at other than the car and all the pretty spray paint. It's a snake and a rabbit, a very angry rabbit. Before I drive this thing, I gotta point out one elephant in the car. This thing is equipped with the 6-speed automatic transmission, which you, the buyers, opt for 60% of the time, every time, and I quote Ron Burgundy. And I have to say, it's not a bad automatic transmission. I actually like this better than the 6-speed auto that was in last week's review, the ND generation Mazda MX-5. This thing is damn near a dual clutch gearbox with how fast and responsive it is, and I like the auto rev match downshifts. It's kind of delayed and almost human-like in nature when it does that rev match downshift, especially going down from second to first gear. It just got hella windy all of a sudden. Time to unleash the beans. Manual mode. I'm going to actually turn off the traction control fully instead of having it in track mode. Okay, that is off. This should probably give me the most aggressive launch. Ready? Set, I think. Go. A little bit of hesitation. Nice quick shift at the second though. Crisp. Those shifts are crisp. Really crisp shifts. Let's be honest, it's not the fastest car in the straight line, but that doesn't matter. It's a car that's designed to be driven fast in corners. And it's a great platform to modify. That's what's more important. Yeah. Hello, and welcome to Garage Science with Sarah. I was just peeping under the hood when I popped the hood on this thing. Popping the hood. Ooh, that's a pretty color under the engine bay. The FA20 powers the Toyota 86 and Subaru BRZ and former Scion FRS. Now, because this is the automatic variant, it has 200 horsepower and 151 pound-feet of torque at 64 to 6,600 RPM. It's important there, that 200 RPM. It's flat. Anyway, if you get the 6-speed manual version of this car, you get an extra 5 horsepower and 5 pound-feet of torque, which makes 205 horse and 156 pound-feet of torque. In case you suck at math, don't worry, I do too. I found it really interesting. If you peep down here in the engine bay, you can see the inner fender structure is actually cut out in the front, exposing the raw plastic inner fender liner as part of a weight savings measure. The 6-speed automatic is paired to a Torsen LSD regardless if you get the manual or automatic transmission, unlike its competitor, the Mazda MX-5, which I don't really see how it's a competitor. I know they're both small, underpowered rear drive sports cars that don't weigh much, but they're completely different animals if you drive the two cars back to back. They're really not that comparable. If you notice, looking under the hood, there's no aluminum red intake manifold. That's because in 2017, when the 86 and BRZ got revised, the automatic transmission versions did not get the updated engine with reworked cylinder heads, new valves, and reworked exhaust and intake manifolds, which made up a difference of 5 horse and 5 pound-feet of torque. I guess for some kind of cost-saving measure, I can only imagine, the automatic transmission versions didn't get that engine, and it's sad. 86 badges, because 3.39 inches doesn't sound nearly as satisfying. The FA20 that's found in the BRZ and the 86 has a nearly equal length manifold on here, so it doesn't have that rumble like you'll hear in an EJ powered Subaru like the STI. But it's not a true equal length manifold either, so it doesn't sound like a Honda, which is kind of a nice best of both worlds situation. And I think the fact that this is so close to being equal length manifold is why it may have that little dip in the center of the torque curve, because with an equal length manifold, you generally have less mid-range torque but more higher end power, and then an unequal length exhaust manifold, you'll have more mid-range torque but less top-end power. But overall, it's better to have equal length anyway because of better exhaust scavenging and equal exhaust pressure across all of the cylinders. All right, time for the braking test. Ready? No one behind me. I hit 1G on the skid pad, or on the skid meter, skid mark, whatever. They're good. It didn't rip my face off, but there's a Brembo option for a reason, so good brakes, good brakes. Oh, it's good. It's so good. I bet you, I don't even have to brake. Nope. Ooh, got a little sideways right there. Transmission does a good job of holding gears when you need it to. You can kind of almost balance it in your foot. You can feel it holding the gear, and then if you just slightly let off with your foot, it'll change gears. It's almost like you can shift with your foot in this thing. The automatic transmission does cost more and it weighs a little bit more, and you don't get as much horsepower and torque with automatic transmission, so there's a downside there. But fun factor wise, that was still fun going down a windy road with this car. I will say this, if you're considering buying one of these cars in a 6-speed auto, or you already own an automatic version of the 86 or BRZ, don't let someone tell you you're not a true car enthusiast because of that. That's like saying you don't enjoy chicken wings because you don't always get the hottest sauce available. Maybe you do. Maybe you just don't want your asshole to burn for the next 3 days after you eat one. It's kind of the same thing with this, although I've never had my asshole burn from driving a 6-speed manual. So, if you guys have never seen one of my car reviews before, I do is called the Bean Score. It's a rating of 1 to 5 beans based on the feeling you get in your gut when that bird starts yelling at you. And the 2019 Toyota 86 with a 6-speed automatic is going to get a rating of 1 bean. But it is a good bean, a solid bean, a meaty bean. And it's a clean slate, a fresh canvas to do whatever you want with this car. And that's why it's important. That bird is super pissed off right now though. What is so wrong? You don't like this? Do you prefer the Miata more? Oh, you're a muscle car bird, huh? It doesn't have a big V8 in it, so you don't like it. Dude, he's pissed. He really is pissed. Excuse me, birds. Can you shut up, please? Yes, you. You, the loud one, not the quiet one, the loud one. Shut your beak. Don't you chime in. Oh, you're laughing. Yeah. Yeah, it's funny though, right? You're a different species. Those jerks over there are loud. Oh, you think it's a riot. I'm in a warehouse talking to birds. It does not matter if this car is not fast, because it is a clean slate, a fresh canvas to do whatever you want to do with it. And it's amazing that an automotive manufacturer makes a car like this that's designed for tuners to enjoy. So I think it's good just the way it is. But if the next generation gets the FA24 out of the Subaru Ascent with or without the turbo, I'll be happy. I'm not going to complain. But I'm not going to jump on the bandwagon and say this car needs more power. I like it just the way it is. Anyway, I will see you guys soon with another video. Bye.